Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
Good morning. I just love your smile, Dr. Abati, all the time. Good morning, Tunde Abiola. My God, you were trending at #1 for defending your iconic father's name. Well done, darling. Well done. Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, Audrey. How are you?
Doing excellent, thank you. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, the Mint Agency has revealed the next 5 women to be celebrated on the country's currency after honoring such figures as Maya Angelou and Sally Ride in the first run of its Women's Quarters program. The new group of pioneering women include pilot Bessie Coleman, journalist and activist Jovita Ida, hula teacher Edith Kanankole, ballerina Maria Tolchif, and former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. The 5 women will appear on the backs of select quarters beginning next year, while the front of the coins will feature a portrait of George Washington. While Tesla CEO Elon Musk became Twitter's largest shareholder on Monday after acquiring a 9.2% stake in the company. The acquisition comes after Musk, who has 80 million followers, questioned the platform's dedication to free speech and the First Amendment. In Rwanda, an appeals court on Monday upheld a 25-year jail sentence for Paul Rusesabagina, who was portrayed in the movie Hotel Rwanda, sheltering hundreds of people during the 1994 genocide. The 67-year-old was convicted in September last year on 8 terrorism charges related to the activities of an organization opposed to President Paul Kagume's rule. Under sports, the CIES Football Observatory on Monday revealed Arsenal's midfielder Bukayo Ayoyinka Saka as the best performing under-21 star in European football. The 20-year-old, who is Arsenal's top scorer in all competitions with 9 of his 10 goals coming in the Premier League, topped the CIES list of 100 best performing outfield players from across 32 European leagues this season. Finally, under entertainment, director Michael Bay has opened up about working with Bruce Willis on the 1998 action classic Armageddon. Willis, who recently announced his retirement from acting after revealing that he has been diagnosed with aphasia, stunned the world with the sad revelation, leading to an outpouring of well wishes from those who have worked with him over the years. The 67-year-old actor became a star in the 1980s when he first burst onto the scene in the classic TV series Moonlighting, but established his movie star credentials in the action classic Die Hard.
It was a fun cast, and then Bruce came, and he wanted to feel like top dog. And Jerry Bruckheimer, my producer, said, why don't you just show him some footage? Show him some footage. And I showed him some footage, and he goes, wow, you should have showed me that a lot sooner. I heard the news yesterday. It's very sad, but I have really fond memories of him.
Well, let's begin what's trending. Former Governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, on Monday declared his interest in contesting a senatorial seat during the 2023 elections at an event to mark his 70th birthday in Edo State. Well, the former governor gave his assurance that as a senator, the interests of the people of Edo North will not be ignored. Well, during the event, Oshiomhole was spotted in a video that has now gone viral, dancing with his wife, Lara. Let's take a look. This is completely epic, Rufai. You exercise, don't you? I mean, this is so amazing that he's 70 and he looks amazing. That's because he exercises, right?
Yeah,
that's what you said earlier.
That's what
right.
working out does for you. And you know, he has a very, very top-notch workout regime. At 70, he can do that. The knee is not ridden with any problems. He can bend the knee, he can use it. And I think it's just a testament to the fact that if you work out really hard, work out really dirty, then you can do that even more.
Yeah.
In your 70s and your 80s. In fact, there was a guy called John Lalanne. He used to be a fitness guru and chief. He worked out till he was 90-something when he passed, So you can do even more and be jumping at your 70s. But I know there were a lot of shades thrown from that video, looking at some other...
Really? What? Like what? I just saw crazy. I thought it was cheap.
Like I've been seeing a lot of shades on, like people saying this should be the new test for every 70-year-old. But I'm like...
Oh, I see where you're going.
But I'm like, not every 70-year-old can be like this because we don't all have the grace accordingly with, with our bodies and the right. And there are some people that even work out so hard, but they can't still do this because they might have hurt their knee, while working out and so many other things. So it's a grace for him. Congratulations on his 70th birthday. Wish him the very best. But he says he wants to be senator.
Yes.
And I look at that. Yes, he has the right according to the Constitution to aspire for any political position in the country. But really? That's the big question. Really? And I say really, based on what he suffered politically in Edo State, based on the fact that the last elections his candidate didn't get in. Really? What does he want to do for the people that he couldn't have done for them as governor? I'll have looked forward to a scene where he's been the APC party chairman, he's retired. He could, serve in other capacities. There are many other things he could do. He's insisted as a labor leader. There's so much more he can do. But now still politics, is politics the only way we could serve in the country?
Maybe that's his only way.
Maybe, but
who knows?
That's just my opinion.
So I hear that politicians never stop.
And that's the problem with Nigeria. They should get off and let other people that truly have fresh new ideas come in.
Well, all right.
And that's the problem with the country.
Well, happy 70th birthday.
All I want to see is a dance-off between Comrade Oshiomhole and you, Rufai. I would pay good money.
I will beat him.
Because you have those moves.
I will. I've got moves like Jagger. I will. What is this? I will beat him. I will go lower than this. Let's try it out.
But the other day we
Put
saw
your money on it.
former President Obasanjo doing the
he had a twirl. He had a twirl.
No,
but he is really sprightly for 70, and he actually illustrates that saying of "you're only as young as the woman you feel." We can see it here. And with regards to his Senate bid, what you're saying, Rufai, is what I was saying earlier about just the fact that we had hoped for some kind of generational shift.
Yes.
It does not appear to be happening. Yes. And the point of it is that power is never given to anybody. That includes any demographic.
Yeah.
It has to be taken. So if the youth wants the state, they have to go out and they have to get it.
Sure. Dr. Abati?
Well, I'm not surprised that Comrade Eric Adams Oshiomhole.
You had to do that.
Oshiomhole.
Did you hear it in the video?
Wants to go to the Senate. The Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has effectively become an old people's home.
Can you imagine?
So if he wins the election and he goes there, he will be in excellent company. But given his level of energy and agility and his credentials and pedigree, I do not expect him that even when he gets there at the age of 71, he will be one of those who will go there to go and sleep. I hope not. But he will look around and see fellow septuagenarians in the place who sleep half of the time. The House of Representatives of Nigeria is more energetic because there's more youthful energy there. But having said that, it is his choice to make. And for the people, of his senatorial district to decide whether they think he can represent them. At least this is a good statement. He has shown that he's physically fit. Okay. Congratulations to him on his 70th birthday. He's been one of the major figures in Nigerian history in the 20th century, particularly with regard to the role that he played in the labor movement. He started out as a major labor activist, first as secretary of the Arewa Textiles Company Workers Union. He will later become secretary of the National Textile and Garments Workers Union of Nigeria. And that was when he was first noticed. And he later became president of the Nigerian Labour Congress between 1989 and I think 2006 or thereabouts, 1989 and 2006. And during his time, he was a very articulate labor leader who led struggles against fuel price hikes. He was a thorn in the flesh of the Obasanjo administration. He managed to negotiate a 25% increase in minimum wage in the country. And that was how he became so popular, so prominent within the political space. And on many occasions, he was detained. He was known as a progressive, as a Democrat, as an unrelenting, persistent defender of workers' rights. And it was from that platform that he ended up becoming the governor of Edo State on the platform of the Action Congress. And, it was, there was a court case, that brought him to office. It was Professor Osumbo of the PDP who had taken the position of governor, but the matter went to court. And in 2018, the court in November 2018 ruled that it was not in 2018, in 2008, I think, ruled that it was the legitimate winner of that position. And he was in office for 8 years in Edo State as governor. Now, opinion is divided on his record of performance. And after being governor, he went on, after a year, to become the APC national chairman. And again, a court case, again, problems within the party. And in 2020, another court, I think a court of appeal, ruled that he should step down as chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Now he's back out there at 70. He says he wants to run for Senate in his constituency. He's from a place called Inyamho, near Auchi.
It's the way you pronounce the name.
In Edo State. And he's also a major political figure in his state. Well, many people will remember how he tried to dictate the process, the electoral process, with Governor Obaseki, who was his protege at the time, and how he rebelled. But if you take it together, he has been quite, he has had a good run so far. And at 70, he can afford to dance as much as he wants. And you can see the ambience and the fact that, he also has the privilege of, of a very youthful woman, by his side.
I knew you were going to spot that.
Congratulations to Comrade Eric Adams Oshiomhole at 70.
At 70. Well said, Dr. Abati. We shall take another story. Former Senator representing Kogi West, Dino Melaye, joined those endorsing presidential aspirant Atiku Abubakar in his bid to run for the president of Nigeria. Well, on Monday, Raymond Dokwesi, a former chairman of Dar Communications, led a delegation to submit nomination forms at the People's Democratic Party headquarters in Abuja on Atiku's behalf. Well, during the presentation, Melaye described Atiku as the only unifier of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and said that he received 3 calls from God, revealing that Atiku will become Nigeria's next president. Let's take a look.
We are here today to present the form of the Ronaldo and Messi of PDP. As I hand over the microphone to I Chief Raymond Dokwesi to present this completed winning form to the NOS, I want to state unequivocally that many of us, when we call on God, God doesn't give us missed calls. When we call him, he picks our call. And he called me, he said, Dino. And I said, yes, my Lord. He called the second time again, Dino. I said, yes, my Lord. He called the third time, and I said, the Lord speak for the servant here. And he said, Atiku will be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, all right. Pastor Tundu, over to you.
Oh, good heavens.
3 calls from God.
Lord. Oh, no. When I read it, I just have this thing of people manipulating, taking things out of context. I had to see for myself. And my goodness, he said it.
Yes, he did.
He actually said it with a straight face. Pray tell, it says Samuel in the Bible that God was calling repeatedly. Then he said, here I am. I mean, this is really embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Anyway, Like I said yesterday, we're in silly season. Anything is possible. You're going to hear all kinds of things. I want to believe, even though he said it with a straight face, that this is deadpan delivery and he was being tongue-in-cheek, like his football analogy about Ronaldo and Messi. I refuse to believe that that is literal. You know? Although around this time, every 4 years, we start to hear from all those who heard from God, don't we? God has assured many, many people that they will be president, and you know, it doesn't tend to come to anything. The real issue here is the aspiration of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Once again, we discussed that earlier. We tried to weigh the pros and cons.
I thought that was
and that will
done.
be up to the PDP zoning committee and then the party. And if he makes it all the way, the Nigerian electorate.
Absolutely. Dr. Vati, over to you.
Well, I mean, it's political season, and during political season, there's a lot of hallucination. And, you know, people also hear voices. And it's also the season for futurologists and shamanists and all kinds of persons who claim to either have a crystal ball gazing expertise or who have a direct telephone to God. And, you know, I'm sure it's not only Dino Melaye who has been hearing voices. Okay, and you know, it's okay. I think it's a dramatic way of expressing his support for former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who has thrown his heart into the ring. And of course, we'll see how that plays out. We have just about 8 weeks, you know, for all of this to be determined. The second point is that that form was bought for former Vice President Atiku Abubakar by a group called Northeast Business Forum. And in one case after the other, we have not seen anybody that says he's buying the form with his own resources. You know, nobody has money. It's people picking up the forms on their behalf. And that's something that Nigerians should note. Because there are rules about campaign finance, about how much you can spend. And, you know, if people borrow money on your behalf to buy forms for you, or they contribute money, what does it mean in terms of what you do when you get to office? But at the end of the day, I think the matter will be determined by the Nigerian people. And with the talents that Dino Melaye has demonstrated in this particular instance, and through some other, you know, dancing skits for which he's very known, there is no doubt that even if he decides to leave politics tomorrow, he will find a very good and robust career in Nollywood as a comedian.
Well, he is an actor. He's featured in a movie.
I know. Or as
he's multi-talented.
Yeah, or as a stand-up comedian. So this is, you know, good talent there.
Yes, I must have laughed several times.
No, but the truth is, I mean, how do I believe an actor in a Nollywood movie and says God called him? So for me, I think I'm just watching him like I watch him on Nollywood movie. The few that he's featured in. I mean, I don't believe all of this. I don't believe all of this. I think also, if he says he's receiving phone calls from God, why has he not received any phone call about his own political career? He used to be a vibrant senator before. What happened to that? He tried his hands on governorship at a point before. We've not heard anything. I think he should listen again. Maybe the missed call, he didn't hear it, maybe, or they hacked the phone line. He should listen. Maybe God is speaking to him.
Rufai, they hacked his line. Well, all right, shall we take our final story? It's generated several reactions on Twitter. Well, the federal government on Monday announced that 2 million people will start receiving about 20 billion naira from June this year as basic cash transfers under the National Cash Transfer Program. Well, according to reports, the federal government will pay the 2 million people 5,000 naira each under the basic cash transfer and an additional 5,000 naira under the conditional cash transfer, totaling a figure of 20 billion naira that the government will be spending on the beneficiaries every month. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Ebere, who wrote, "So we have this kind of money and we keep borrowing like there is no tomorrow. We have this kind of money, yet ASU's strike persists. The ones you have claimed you shared before, where are the names and addresses of the beneficiaries?" Well, Hama wrote, "Why does the government believe in handouts? How about loaning 1 billion to 20 production companies monthly with no interest and tenure of 3 years, with a year moratorium, but a pact to employ at least 1,000 people yearly, making it a revolving fund?" I think Hama hit the nail on the head like hammer. I mean, we've had this over and over again. A lot of Nigerians are outraged, Tundu, and rightfully so.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's been explained about how they go about generating the list of the very poorest in society and what have you. But this cash handout system is flawed because of our proclivities in this country towards corruption. It is really giving carte blanche, a blank check, if you like, for corruption, for stealing. So it's not advisable at all. It's counterproductive. And then I think of someone like Aminu Kano and how his policies, his socialist policies, focused on the dignity of Nigerians, such that cash handouts really simply don't cut it. You're making really beggars of people. Why not invest like the Hammer tweet? Why not make the proper investments to lift people out of poverty permanently? Why not invest in education? Measures like that and not using a Band-Aid when you need surgery.
You're well said, Tundu. I cannot agree more. That's all I have for you guys. Well, thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have time to chat on the story. Thank you all. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.